Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Not Too Comic Book. This week's show, we're talking about TV shows that are adaptations of comic books. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about Clevatess Season 1, Episode 6. A lot of really interesting things went down in this episode, so let's break it down. Well, basically, with Boreto's, advancements, Alicia kind of runs things down to Clint and kind of explains how everything's going, which he initially kind of has he doesn't care because it's like, well, whatever happens in that world, it doesn't matter because it's like, well, I'll put Luna on the throne, which is my ultimate goal. But it's like, well, that will be a moot point if the advancement continues because once Hayden's been completely absorbed, there is no taking the throne. Even Luna being of royal blood will mean nothing. I mean, it makes sense. Your kingdom no longer exists. How are you going to rule a kingdom that basically is destroyed and absorbed into another, country? So it's it makes sense. So we also got more context of the Doroya and Alicia's father's situation. It seems like that was just, I guess, because he knew how skilled her father was. So it's if I can defeat you, it really showcases how much I've grown. It's like, wow, my guy, it was that. That's all this was just to prove yourself because you want to be the strongest and you need it to verify. Because I guess this is someone that maybe always outclassed you. Person's down a leg and stuff like that. But to be fair, we never got to see the full fight. So Alicia's father might have given it just as much as he got. I mean, to be fair, Doroya was bleeding as well. Granted, not as bad, but it's that means her father put up a decent enough fight. It's just not enough. And so obviously there's been some time frame since then, so he's probably gotten way stronger too. But it just, I don't know if it was almost on some Highlander stuff of the more people I cut down, the stronger I get. So that might be part of it as well. But it seems like he's trying to prove himself. Maybe there's deeper reasons why you want to be the best, or maybe it's just simple. Oh, I'm a power hungry human. Maybe that's all there is to it. But we kind of get the full promise Alicia's dad made to her. He's like, don't fight him because you fighting him will lead to war and nothing good will come of that. It's go, you want it to be a hero so that you could branch out and show me the full continent. So go do that, be a hero, show me that. And so because of that, she's like, I'll be a hero and not go and get revenge because that's not what my father would want for me. Because initially Clint is okay, so I will go and deal with the situation himself because he wants to kind of get a better read of it because he wants to put himself, because initially he's I don't want it to be seen as kind of showing any favoritism to any specific humanoid. So it's I will handle this on my own because he'll have the justification of dealing with them if they are in fact the ones who've been kidnapping the young beast children. So it's if you've been doing that, that'll give me the justification to kind of sneak in, just like with Zaftir sending guard out for investigation purposes for the same reason. So Clint plans on handling things, but before he leaves, he ends up saying something interesting to Alicia, basically saying, this is my fight, not yours, because don't you want to keep your promise to your father of being a hero? But she's I haven't really done anything very hero-like, but it's what was he saying? That basically a hero kind of expands. I forgot the phrasing of it, but it was almost you kind of, the good you do, what it comes down to is you don't think you've done any good. Look at Neru, her circumstances, you've expanded her world, because she constantly refers to you as a hero because she sees you as one. So it's if you want to just quit, fine, do that too, but don't just immediately. It's almost that thing of why discount the good that you have done. Yes, it's been a complicated circumstances, you serving under, Clevatess being a walking corpse and all that, but at the end of the day, you have done good. You wiped out a whole bunch of bandits and stuff like that, plus you saved Nell, and then anyone else. By doing what you did, you essentially saved everyone else that was enslaved by them as well. So it's don't discount any your heroic action because she just hasn't felt like a hero because she feels she strayed so far from what her father would want her to be, especially with her current circumstances being what they are. So Clint goes off on his own and will be back. Sadly, it's well, Alicia's without the stream splitter. But at the same time, it's also like, well, if she kept it on her, even if she kept it wrapped up, that would draw too much attention. So keeping the regular sword is beneficial. But they head off to a nearby town, and there's some of the remnants of the bandits are there, and they're getting the ever-living crap beat out of them and then strung up and hung. You're also kind of like, you kind of feel bad for them because you see them being so like pitiful and scared, but at the same time, you're also like, yeah, but you weren't great people, so doing what you've done, it's also like, you got no sympathy for me. There's even that one guy be like, oh, it's her fault because of her, the ancient creature and stuff like that. It's like, the thing was already there regardless, and it popped up. Like, you guys are the ones that kept, like, sending people in the water for your own amusement. You just didn't know what was buried deep, deep down below. And, if you guys weren't such pieces of shit, you wouldn't have to worry about that. You wouldn't have died. But also, like, you've caused enough problems for people to feel the need to string you up like that. Once again, it sucks. You kind of feel bad for them getting beat up in the middle of the street, but it's like, you guys were the issue to begin with, so... And sadly, like, Alicia throughout this entire episode, just despite Clint saying what he said to her, she's constantly hearing over and over again how, like, there's no heroes. If there really were heroes, why is the world in the state that it's in? And, like, bringing up, like, all 13 heroes, like, they were paraded around and stuff like that. And for what? For the king to end up dead, for the Haydn, like, capital or kingdom, like, to end up in the state it's in, and now it's going to full-blown war, which Alicia blames herself because she's like, well, if we had succeeded, none of this would have happened. Clint would be dead. He never would have went out and, like, went on his, like, attack on killing the king of Hedon. Like, that was like the direct domino effects. To be fair, there were already other things that play outside of Clint. I mean, Gart would have already been out doing his thing because that all would have all still been in motion. So whether it was him or, like, you would have dealt with one of them eventually. If not Clint, you would have dealt with Zafir. So it's kind of like you were already on this collision course to some extent. I mean, granted, you would... A lot of the the dominoes wouldn't fall the way they did. I mean, once again, Clem went on a full-blown destructive massacre versus, like, Zafir plans on going through one after investigating some more. So that's the big difference. So, and the events probably wouldn't have had to fall out the way they have, like the warring, like, two sides, like, clashing and like going as hard in the paint with its invasion and attack on, like, Haydn like they did, so it's like, it's almost like an apples to oranges situation. Still bad results. It's just about the journey to those bad results. Alicia and Nell find a inn or somewhere to stay where they meet, what's her face, was it Kyrie was her name, I believe, her and her sons. And it's like, yeah, as long as you pay, like, you can stay here, I'll give you room, board and all that, food and all that. The sons are kind of like, they seem like the big, like, hulking, like, one's too soft like his father apparently, and the other one gets nervous and says, and she's like, break those trends of yours. And she tries to, like, because they're not big on, like, trusting outsiders, understandably, because it's like, hey, this person's obviously suspicious, you might be a bandit, look at them, they got an eye patch and stuff like that. But they get welcomed in. And like I brought up earlier, Alicia hears a lot of the townsfolk at the bar, like, drinking and saying a lot of stuff about, like, the King of Haydn, but also, like, the heroes and stuff. And for her, I wonder, is that going to be motivation for Alicia? Like, she will probably still keep her position as a hero hidden, but maybe she'll give birth. I mean, because, like, no one will probably, like, the only people who would know of her existence as a hero is, like, those who've heard the rumors, but also, though, like, she has no family to correlate any of that with. Plus, the only other person that probably, like, knew was, like, the King of Haydn, and he's dead. So, I mean, the leader of the bandits was only, like, he already had an inkling about that. That's the only reason why he recognized immediately, like, oh, you must be. Once again, having all that, like, material with you didn't help either. But I don't think many people will correlate and piece it together that she's one of the heroes that was supposed to go and defeat Clint, right? So I don't think that immediately gets correlated to anyone else. So, but I'm curious if her journey will be about trying to restore the reputation of heroes, or will she kind of, funny enough, she began her journey as a hero, die and serving Clint was kind of like her second wind, maybe, that maybe like this journey will help her find a way at, ironically enough, as a hero. You know, I wonder if that's how her storyline will play out in this regard. Sadly, Maynard already had a lock on him, so him and what's her name, Nye, ended up tracking him down. That poor guy was named Gabby. Got it pretty brutally. He's trying to get away from like the insect that Maynard brought inside, and as he's about to try to get away, gets brought up in the air, and they start just like chomping on his body. Let him fall a little bit. A whole bunch crowd around him and start chomping at him again. You're just like, you poor bastard. Maybe he just had a fear of insects in general, so literally the worst possible person showed up. But yeah, he's like, oh, like, you guys don't move. You don't have to worry about anything. I get the feeling like even if he gets what he wants, he'll probably still kill them. But it puts Alicia and Nell in a very complicated position, because now it's a thing of, hey, all we came here to verify is if Luna's really got royal blood. And if he does, cool, we're going to snatch the baby. So that motivates everyone here. Like, yo, let's give that baby up because it's self-preservation. You're bringing so much trouble to our town and stuff like that. We already have to deal with everything else going on. Like, I mean, they literally said while they were, like, with an ancient one, Clen wiping out the kingdom of Haydn, plus, like, Boruto, like, making the moves it's making. It's also like it's one bad omen after another, and now this happens. So we'll see how that all plays out and how that all fares, because I believe Rodwood and Mikhail were heading in the direction of where Dorel was heading. So I don't know if that's going to correlate or connect at all with what Maynard did. I would assume those are in two very different directions. So, because that's also like the way like Clint was heading as well. So I was trying to avoid too much of the preview. So I don't know, like, because I think I caught glimpses of like Rod. So I think maybe like him and Dorel clashing next episode might happen at the same time. Alicia's clashing with the two wizards, you know, so it's going to be interesting to see where things kind of go on that front, especially considering Alicia just has a regular sword. She doesn't even have a magical weapon, so, you know, and also, will we see Nell have to fight in a situation? Obviously, we keep seeing the fact that she's ridiculously strong, so how does that fare against, you know, magic people? I mean, she's got her duty to protect Luna. I mean, they both do, so we'll see how that fares. Like I said, in conjunction with people are going to be motivated to try and hand that baby over just for self-preservation, so they don't end up getting killed because of you. Plus, they're probably a little disenfranchised by the royalty because of just the state of everything, so that's just extra salt on the wound, you know? But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.